What is the cost of drilling a bore in Zimbabwe? I mean, there's a lot of adverts that is going on online about bore drilling, and some of them they've got predefined prices. And at the back of our head, in most cases, when you see that advert, you may think that's the cost that you're gonna get. And to your surprise, it may be higher than what most of these companies advertise. I've gone on a journey whereby I have gone to drill a bore and made sure that there is water that is actually coming out. And in this video, I'm going to explain the whole process of how much it was and what constitutes the price to drill a bore, so that next time when you want to drill a bore in Zimbabwe, you get to know exactly how to ask and how to get the details from the service providers. Hello and welcome. My name is Kuda. If you're new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for staying tuned to my videos. So the first process that I've actually done on drilling a bore, I actually went to the company to ask for the quotations. And then the second step that I did, we actually went to do what is known as siting. And then the third process, we actually did the drilling process of putting the drill into the ground and drilling the bore. And then the last process was installing the tank and putting solar system so that water can actually come out. I'm a better explainer when I'm actually on the computer. So I'm just going to go ahead and go on my computer and break down the whole process from the start to the finish. The purpose of this video is just to give you the details of how much we have spent and how much you are likely to spend on your next bore drilling process in Zimbabwe. Again, I'm going to add the context of the people or the companies that assisted me to do the bore drilling that I've actually done in one of the rural areas. And so let's go on my computer and I'm going to break down the price for you in a very nice, easy way to understand. Let's go. So right now I'm on my computer is actually break down the cost of drilling a bore in Zimbabwe. So to start off with, I'm gonna try and explain to you that this is just a review video for education purposes, and my video may actually contain some errors, and if I do make an error, please bear with me. Or if you notice anything that needs to be corrected, you may correct that in the comment section. And yeah, if you're a service provider in the bore drilling space in Zimbabwe, and yeah, just share your comments and the other information. Okay, so to move on with, if you want to look at the cost of bore drilling in Zimbabwe, instead of looking at the adverts that goes around the internet and things like that, you may want to consider this 4-step process so that you understand the exact cost of bore drilling. So the first step that happens on bore drilling, I'm going to break down everything into small chunks. The first step is consultation. You got to do consultation, and I'm going to explain. The second process is called siting, and I'm going to explain the process of siting. And then the third process is drilling into the ground. Okay, the process of drilling into the ground. And then there is what is known as tank installation. Okay. Now, when looking at tank installation, you got to look at two things, which I'm going to be explaining again. And then the last step, which is step number 5, is to decide what you need to do moving forward. Okay. So now let us look at point number 1, which is consultation. What are sort of things that we are looking at when you look at consultation? Now, when looking at consultation, we're looking at this step, number 1. The step number 1 is, where is the place? Where is the drilling going to take place? Is it in urban area? Is it in rural area? Is it, how far is the distance from the service providers that wants to provide service? So that's what you get when you do a consultation. When you call any company that does bore drilling in Zimbabwe, you get that kind of quote or service whereby they ask you these important questions. And then, what do you plan to do with your bore? Okay, so now there are different use cases. Some people, they use their bore for just drinking water for household use. And some of the people, they are drilling a bore for irrigation, for projects and things like that. This is another question that they ask you. And then note that at this stage, if you visit any company that does bore drilling, they are not able to come up with a price. Okay, probably they might come up with estimates of how much you may spend, but basically at that stage they won't be able to come up with a price. And I'm going to explain why they won't be able to come up with a price. And then the next step that happens after that is called siting, which I'm going to be explaining in my next slide. So now, bore siting, a lot of you may think, I want to think of this stage as survey. Okay, I want to think at this stage is survey, whereby they do survey. I hope I'll get that spelling right. Okay, where they do survey of the land. Now on this survey, the first thing that they do is that they will be determining the position of the bore, where is the bore supposed to be drilled, and then measure the availability of water. Okay, so when I did this process, I was asking a lot of questions, and they were telling me that the different system that they use, but the machine that these guys use actually measures to see how where is the best place to get water. Okay, so now to do this process, it's a once-off payment of about $80 to $150, depending with the service provider that you choose. So they just come and then tell you that, hey, this is the very place that you need to drill a bore. And then again, a person can do consultation, and then another company can do siting, another company can do the other thing, and things like that. And then now, when you're looking at transport, when you do the consultation, when you call out someone to do siting, on top of this amount that you pay to them, they are going to ask for transport. Okay, let's say your place is far from Harare, or they just measure the distance where the bore is supposed to go. Normally they charge per kilometer, and then at this stage you are given a quote as well. Okay, you can be given a quote which is a little bit more accurate, but you may not get the exact accurate quote from just from what I've just explained here when they do the siting. So it will be just estimate. This is when they tell you that this is how deep your bore should go, and things like that, so that you can get ready for the price. And then now I'm going to go to the third step. Remember, the first step is consultation, whereby you ask them questions. The next step is bore siting, whereby they're doing surveying. Okay, that's the second step. The third step is when they do the drilling. Okay, the process of drilling into the ground. Now, when you're looking at drilling, basically is getting that heavy rig, okay, and then digging into the ground with what they call diamond beads drill. Yeah, that goes into the ground. So on the drilling part, if you are in an urban area, okay, or I would say the minimum requirement, the standard requirement, your bore should go 40 meters deep. But in some cases, you may get to 40 meters and not get water. Okay, so this is when that's the purpose of doing step number 2, whereby they site to see how deep your bore should go. So let's say they give you a price. They're going to give you a price which is a standard requirement of 40 meters. Now, when you get to the surveying, now you pay extra X amount of dollars for an extra meter that you actually pay. So the cost, I'm gonna explain the cost as well. Okay, let me just explain. So let's say they say bore drilling is 1,200. Okay, let's say they say bore drilling is 1,200 for 40 meters. Okay, this is for 40 meters, the 40 meters that I've actually explained here. And then they're gonna go on and say an extra meter. If you want an extra meter, we're gonna charge you $20. They vary $20 up to maybe 40 or 50 per meter, depending with the service provider that you actually choose. This is what they charge. Okay, so what it means is that if you're gonna do 45 meters, you just need to multiply 5 meters by 20, and then you add on to the 1.2. Okay, so this money includes their transport and whatever they use. Okay, but for extra meters, this is when you have to pay extra money. Okay, and then again, there is what is known as soil formation. Okay, when I was actually doing this, soil formation is going to determine the type of casing that you are supposed to put. Okay, so let me explain that. Let me just clear out my drawing. So I'm going to take you back to school a little bit. Okay, now when I take you back to school a little bit, do you remember when you're actually doing geography, when we're doing soil formation, that soil is formed in some stages? The first stage you might get I'm trying to think about that. Okay, so there is, okay, you might get like soft soil at the top. Okay, and then here you might get gravel. Yeah, there is a type of a soil that is called gravel. Okay, there's type of a soil that called gravel, and then there is sand. You also get sand, and other types of soil that is available on the ground. So as you dig into the ground, there is some soil that actually comes out. Okay, so now when the soil that actually comes out, the people that are drilling can actually determine if your ground is loose or strong. Okay, so if a ground is loose, then you need to put what is called double casing. I'm going to explain what double casing is. If your ground has got a lot of gravel, a lot of stones, they're going to put a single casing. And when they look at the soil formation, and they're going to determine the type of casing that they should put there. And this decision alone is something that increases the price, okay, that they have actually given you on the first stage, because they're going to see that the soil is loose. They need to put double casing. So let me just explain what single casing is all about and what double casing is all about. So now, when they're actually drilling, they're going to dig a hole. Okay, they're going to dig a hole with a drill. So think of this as the hole that has been done. So this is the ground. Okay, this is the ground, and this is the hole that goes deep, like 100 meters or whatever meters. Okay, and they are supposed to put a pipe, which normally it's blue sets of pipe that they put one after the other. Okay, and then this is the pipe that they have to put. Okay, that goes down. Okay, so that the soil here does not fall into the water and have the ball collapse. So this is what they actually put. So let me just see if I can draw a circle here, because the pipes, the casing, it's just the pipes, the blue pipes that they put here, okay, is a single one. And then if it's double casing, that simply means they're putting a pipe outside and another pipe inside as well. Okay, another pipe inside as well. Okay, so that means there is the soil, and there is the first pipe, and then there is the double pipe, okay, which is called double casing. So now when you make this move, depending on the type of soil that is on the ground, that is going to increase your price. And then this price you are only told when you are on the ground. So think about it for a second. They have told you that it's $1,200 to drill a bore, and then they told you like it's $30 for an extra meter. Okay, this is like 40 meters, and then for an extra meter, and then you go like, no, I'm gonna do 60 meters. So you go like, I'm gonna pay 1,200 plus another 20 meters. That is gonna make it 600 here, and then my total here is gonna be 1,800. Okay, they're gonna say it's 1,800. Now you get to the stage whereby they're drilling on the ground, and then you realize that your soil is soft. They're gonna bill you again for the extra casings that they're actually putting. So be ready for that, and that's the truth, and that's what happens. Okay, so if you are lucky enough, if the soil is very hard, is rocky, then you may put a single casing. But if it's otherwise, then you need to put double casing. So take note of that. Okay, so let me just so this is the part 3, which is the drilling part. Okay, so the first part is consultation. The second part is the siting, the soil with the survey water, the amount of water available. The third part is drilling. Okay, now let us move on to the fourth part, which is tank installation. Now when you're looking at tank installation, you need to decide what you're going to be using to pull water out of the ground. So let's say this is your what happens, let me say this is the ground. Okay, now that's the ground, and then this is the small hole that goes into the ground, which is that they've put piping and things like that. And then a tank stand can be located anywhere on the ground. It can be on the same position here, or it can be outside that. So let me just put, for the sake of this white space, let me just try and draw a tank stand right there. Okay, a tank stand looks like this. Plum. Is it like that? Okay, plum. Then they've got some crossings, and then it has got a very hard holder here, and then a tank comes here. Okay, the tank comes here. Okay, now this is the tank. Let me just put the lines right there. Okay, so now we have the tank. So what it means is that water is going to be pulled up. This is now the water level, and water is filling up into this bowl. Okay, and then water is going to come here, and then they put the installation whereby they put a pipe and electricity that pulls this water, and it goes into the tank. Once it goes into the tank, and then water is supplied to different use cases, maybe for drinking, for whatever the case. So there should be power that actually pulls water from the ground, and then you have to decide, okay, depending with your location, you have to decide if you are going to be using solar or electricity. Okay, so now if you have electricity at your home, that means this cost goes low. If it's a rural home, like the ones that I did recently, the project that I did recently, we had to install solar. Okay, so this constitutes again to the price. So if you're given a price of a basic price, you need to take note of this as well. That's why consultation is important, so that you can actually pay them so that they can actually do the site visit. So now I'm using solar, and then how many tank stands do you need? Okay. So in the project that I've actually done, I was supposed to install 2 tank stands. Okay. Now the 2 tank stands, one is for human purposes. Okay, so that's for drinking. That is going to be used by people drinking, bathing, and things like that. And then the other one is for the chickens. Okay, it's for the chicken project. Okay, it's for the chicken project. So when I was actually doing my research and reading a lot about how to start a chicken project in Zimbabwe, I've learned that if you're doing a chicken project, you need a separate tank for each chicken house, so that there's some chemical that is mixed with the water, and then the chickens, that chemical must not be mixed with the drinking water. So in this case, you need to decide on the tank installation. How many tank stands are you going to put? And then the other contributing factor as well is the size of the tank. Okay. The size of the tank, these tanks, they come in different sizes. So the bigger the tank is, the more expensive it is. The smaller it is, the more cheaper it is. Okay. I hope this is making sense, because I want to break down into small chunks so that you understand exactly the steps that are taken in case you pick up a service provider in Zimbabwe, and then they're telling you that they need this money, and I'm just helping you with this information so that you can make informed decisions. And then now moving on to another step, I'm going to talk about your choice. Now, when looking at your choice, once you have a tank stand installed up there, some people, like in this case, the system that I was actually putting at the rural home, the water was supposed to be used for drip irrigation. And again, it is supposed to be used for a chicken house. Again, it is supposed to be used for home use. So in this case, there's so many use cases that you may need after the water is actually coming out of the tap. What is it that you want to use the water for? Okay. So basically this is something, again, your choice of the use of water is going to increase the price a little bit when you're actually doing this. So now I'm going to exactly tell you how much I have actually paid, exactly the exact amount. So, and then you can calculate how much the cost was, and so that you can actually know. So the first time when I did the consultation was free. Okay, I'm going to tell you the consultation was free. I didn't pay anything, but to get to the consultation spot, I needed fuel. Okay, so I paid $20 for my fuel, and then for the sighting, I had to negotiate with the guys to give me a very good discount. I paid $100 for sighting. That is the survey that they did. And then for bore drilling, I did 6 meters, okay, and I had to negotiate again for the price, and they charged me $1,600 US dollars to 1,600 to drill into the ground. And then we had to install solar. Now on the solar system, you have to decide, like the guy that I actually used here, he gave me a lot of quotations, like you need this system, you need like 5 kVA. I don't even understand what this is, but when we went for consultation again, they just recommended you do 5 kVA, and then for 5 kVA we paid $3,500, okay. That is for the solar system installation, okay. It does not end there. Again, for the tank installation and piping system, because we had to put a lot of pipes that goes into the chicken house, and then that goes into the house as well for drinking purposes. That cost was about 1,700. So again, this solar system is supplying electricity at the small house that we built there, and then at the chicken house as well. So this solar system is also doing 3 things: supplying electricity at the chicken house, supplying electricity at the house, and then supplying electricity at the borehole system as well, and then other use cases of water. And then I always love to add a little bit of extra money, which I call miscellaneous. Now when you're looking at the miscellaneous expense, we are saying that you get to a site and you're doing all these other things, and then you meet someone who says, oh, you didn't pay me this, and then you just pay something, and then you see that there is shortage of maybe food, there is shortage of maybe some of the materials that you forgot, maybe you need to do up and down and things like that. This process is not done in one day. Maybe you need transport to go up and down and check things out, how things are working and things like that. So that amount can be any amount that you can actually put. So now let us look at the cost of this. Okay, this is not the exact amount for your case, but it's my use case. Okay, so let us look at the cost of this. Let me just pull out my calculator here. Okay, calculator, and then I'm going to tell you how much it was. Okay, so we're looking at $20 plus $100 plus 1,600 plus 3,500 plus 1,700 plus $400. Okay, so that's a total of 7,320. Okay, that's a total of 7,320 that went just into this whole process. Okay, again, you need to look at this can be lower than this, like seriously lower than this, or it can be higher than this, okay, depending with your use case, like I said. So I've actually come to the end of this video, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. The cost of drilling borehole in Zimbabwe varies with your use case, like I've actually explained. I want to hear how much you got charged for borehole drilling, the entire process. I've tried to break it down so that you actually understand, and then I've actually added the contacts of the service providers that assisted me on this whole process in the comment section. As you may have seen some of their clips again that are actually replayed through this entire session, and also you can actually check out some of the previous videos that I've actually done. So with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching this video, and I would love to hear from you. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to connect with me, I've left my details in the comment section, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and share this video please. Bye for now.